It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Giants and the Titans, and it's coming up next.
All in all, we have a pretty pleasant December day in the Volunteer State. The chilly rain from last night has moved on. The temps have bumped up a bit here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New York Giants and the Tennessee Titans. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The Titans set to take over behind their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Play action. It's Tannehill. That's to Parker. What a catch. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see. Makes
sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Akers again, and he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Tannehill. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Derrick Henry. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 18 carries, 85 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Isaiah Simmons in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road. And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A first down carry for Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. Facing a 2nd and 3, ball on the 10. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time. And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was Cam Akers who capped it off with a touchdown.
Sanchez set to kick off.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Tennessee offense set to go again. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down. Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Tannehill on first down. Short little throw to Ebron. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants 16.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
From the red zone now, Tannehill. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Isaiah Simmons able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Tannehill under pressure, and they got to him again. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Parker. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The kick by Lambeau is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Let's go.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's a give to Barkley. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 3, second down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
This is it.
Terry McLaurin, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The time again to see what Ryan Tannehill and the Titans can do. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Tannehill. Over the middle, complete. It's Parker. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. To throw is Tannehill. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed.
It's sad they pay me.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on
what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where you see the final score there. Zach Dysert, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we head up to MetLife Stadium to check on the Jets. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Detroit Lions. The Lions are still holding on as the win gets them to 9-6 now on the year with 1 game to go. And finally, on Monday Night Football, they've got a good one lined up between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Las Vegas Raiders. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Giants. And they've had their way running the football, well over 100 yards already as a team with 2 more quarters to come. And meanwhile, for the Titans, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental... Fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
77 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. They'll run on first down. Akers, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And just shutting him off there. And down inside the 15 he goes. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On first down, Barkley. Oh, some strong running, and he'll be out of bounds.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Akers will score. Touchdown, New York. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Here we go.
And now Ryan Tannehill becomes a focus of our players' spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Back to throw, Tannehill. Open receiver here, complete. It's Parker. Touchdown, Titans. Devontae Parker, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And I think this is what the early proponents of the forward pass were thinking about. Get it to a receiver and have him do some work afterwards in order to create the big play we just saw there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that will cut this lead down to 25. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Giants going to take over again on offense. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? when the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. A handoff to Barkley. Fighting him off.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another 2nd down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays 2nd down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a 1st down before they have to start their downs over again.
And some room to work. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 143 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. Well, with Saquon Barkley, you often think of the elusiveness, the quickness, but he can definitely run with purpose as well, and he's able to shed a tackler there and continue on. They'll run on 1st down. Akers, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
It's our time!
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really...
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Giants are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. On 1st down, Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Tannehill. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Henry. They find some open field here. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. A big play that time for the Titans. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Right here, guys. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Tannehill now to throw. He dumps it off for Henry. And some room to maneuver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Titans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this will be a Giants first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he's got Rome. Escapes the defender. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup there. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Tannehill. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that will cut this lead down to 25. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a Tennessee score. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. New York ready to go again offensively. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. Room here to run. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Saquon Barkley breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Tennessee offense set to go again. Let's just be frank, they're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Tannehill on third down. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident, because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20.
Let's go. Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
3 down. 24 is the mic. Watch the pass.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about them.